Welcome to your Daily 5 for Thursday, November 21st, 2024. To celebrate the 30th anniversary, I cannot believe, I had to reread it 3 or 4 times, that it's been 30 years since Star Trek Generations came out, which was the last film to feature William Shatner playing the original Captain Kirk. But in any event, the 30-year anniversary for Star Trek Generations was accompanied by a short film that was created by the son of Gene Roddenberry, who runs the Roddenberry Archive, along with the estate of Leonard Nimoy, so his family gave permission, Leonard Nimoy, sorry, and William Shatner also returning as Captain Kirk in this short feature, or whatever it's called, that is titled 765874 Unification. I don't know what the number means. I don't know if that's a star date or what. I'm sure there's some meaning that I'm just not missing, I'm not getting, because I'm not that well-versed in Trek lore that I know every single reference. But in any event, it is about a 10-minute and change short film that I guess would serve how do I best describe it? Serves as kind of a final reunion between Leonard Nimoy's Spock as he's dying in his older version from the newer films, and William Shatner's Kirk after he was killed in Star Trek Generations. And they are reunited through the power, I can't tell if it's of the character from the first season who got God powers and this alien. I don't really know. I don't think it really matters. But really, I think there were 2 or perhaps 3. I think one of the ideas behind this might have been a very kind of low-level one that most people won't even pick up on. But I think the main goals were to, again, have one more reunion of these 2 characters and celebrate Generations' 30th anniversary, but also to demonstrate some, I have to admit, stunning de-aging technology. I don't know what the company describes their technology as, but in essence, they do face mapping so that they can de-age characters. And the company's, the letters are OTOY, so I don't know if it's supposed to be OTOY or if you're supposed to just say OTOY. I'm not really sure. But there are numerous instances of face de-aging and all that type of thing that we've seen in recent years. They're almost always okay to bad. But I have to say, this is probably the best I've seen yet in terms of really making you forget that you're not looking at something like archival footage or maybe cutscenes from a film that they just digitally inserted. They really did a stellar job on portraying a convincing set of younger versions of William Shatner. Now, there is no dialogue in the entire short film. And some people think that's because it would give away the technology. It could be that. I really don't know. But I also wonder if it isn't partially to kind of refute there's been a long-standing lampooning of William Shatner's acting, which has never really been fair. Certainly, he can be a good actor when he wants to be, and when he doesn't, then yes, it can get pretty bad. But there's so much that's conveyed in this short film, just in his facial expressions. And they did use him and his facial expressions and reactions, and then they just de-aged him. So he was there. He was part of it. And I think it really does demonstrate that he was always a better actor than he got credit for, because you see so much of what he's doing just in his facial reactions. And so even though I think the short is probably a little bit longer than it needs to be, I don't really care, because not only do you get to see Shatner doing all this really good, just purely emotive facial reaction, but also because it is a beautiful send-off for 2 characters that many people, including myself, grew up with. I mean, you get to see, in essence, Leonard Nimoy back as Spock. There was another actor playing him, and they basically just mapped the face over. And then Shatner playing a younger version of himself to be able to see Spock one more time at basically the end of both of their existences. And so I think it works really well. Now, if you're not a Trek fan, you're not going to get that much out of the emotion of it, but I would still say watch it, because the technology is just astounding. But if you are, in fact, a Trek fan, if you do have some type of caring for these characters, if you did, as I did, grow up with them, or you just like them, then I think it is, unlike a lot of things like this that feel like they're lesser, that don't feel like they need to be around, that they're just there to be there. This does feel like it came from a genuine affection for the characters. And I think while I would never have predicted something like this would be done, and it came out of nowhere as far as I know nothing about it. It just dropped out of nowhere, I think, on Tuesday. While I would never have thought that this would be something we would ever get, now that it's here, I think it is a beautiful kind of ending for these characters, and so I'm glad it exists. So again, I'm not going to say the title again. I'll just link to the show notes. Watch it. It's worth seeing. Later.